GitHub Action workflows are used with pull requests to shift quality left and ensure code builds and passes tests before being merged to main. There are times, however, when you may want to push a commit to a branch with an open pull request and not trigger the workflow. Let's see how keywords can make this happen. Hey y'all, I'm Mickey Gousset, and today we are looking at GitHub Actions and how to use keywords in your commit message to stop an Actions workflow from running when we push a commit to a branch with an open pull request. You can skip workflow runs triggered by the push and pull request events by including a command in your commit message. Any of the following commands will work when included in the commit message of a push or the head commit of a pull request. And yes, the brackets are required on either side of the command. Skip instructions only apply to the push and pull request events and only apply to workflow runs that would be triggered by the commit that contains the skip instructions. Now, let's look at how we can skip a workflow run when we do a push to a branch with an open pull request. The goal with this demo is to show you how, by including keywords in the head commit of a pull request, you can skip a workflow from running. Let's start off by going to my .github workflows folder, and let's look at my workflow that executes on a PR. And this workflow, it is executing on a pull request that targets the main branch. It has one job, and all that job does is echo out something. So when I create a pull request, or if I have an open pull request and I submit a commit to that branch, this workflow should run. So let's come back out to our code and let's make a change to the README file. And we're going to say this should trigger the workflow. And what I'm going to do is triggering workflow. And I'm going to create a new branch for this, and I'll call this Mickey Gousset testing. And then I will create a pull request off of this branch, and I'm going to say create pull request. And what we should see here in just a moment is we can see that the workflow has started. As you would expect, we have it set to trigger when a pull request is created or a new commit is pushed to a branch that has a pull request on it. So we can see that the workflow ran successfully. So let's go back to our branch. Let's make a change. This should not trigger the workflow. And what I'm going to do down here in the commit message is I'm just going to put skip CI, bracket skip CI bracket. And that should, we commit that to the branch. If we come back out here to actions, then we can see that it did not trigger another workflow run. So it did skip that workflow. So it could be I made a small change and I don't necessarily want to run the entire 2-hour pull request workflow in this case, because I know that we're going to be submitting some other changes later where I would want to run that whole workflow. So this allows me to skip that workflow. And then if I come back to that branch and I make a change, one more change, this should trigger. Triggering again. Then I can see when I commit to the branch, we can go back to the pull request. You can see that it did trigger the workflow to run again. In fact, I can also see that on the Actions tab, that it did trigger the workflow to run again. which is what I expected because I did not tell it to skip at this point. And then when I'm ready, I could take that pull request and I could merge it back into my main branch. So what we've seen though is the ability to, on a pull request that has workflows that run against that pull request, to skip those workflows using keywords. I hope you've enjoyed this video on how to skip a workflow run. If so, please comment and like this video, subscribe to my channel, and smash that bell to be notified of my next video. Thanks for watching.